It's an R. Adam Carolla Subreddit Podcast. I'm your host, Ken Braverman. Today's episode, October 4th, 2022. Chris D'Elia, right? I think that's it. I started looking up his Wikipedia after reading this thread. This is going to be a very interesting podcast. I had no idea. And first of all, weirdest thing about him, his mom's name is D'Elia. Ellie D'Elia, I think was her name. She made that decision. She married someone with an apostrophe and almost her first name as their last name. So she knew what she was getting into. This is speaking to bad judgment from his mother's perspective, number one. So this guy's got issues to begin with. But wait till we get even further. This is ridiculous. I had no idea what's going on with this guy. He needs to shave. He's already got the perv beard, and he doesn't need to emulate that anymore. Clearly, so let's get through this. Adam opens the show dissecting the song "Puff the Magic Dragon." I have horrible memories of that song. I got left in the back of a car for like hours with that song playing on repeat on a cassette that I think someone had given to my parents, and it was raining, and it's one of those things, like when you have a weird experience at a super young age. That song was just going over and over and over again, and man, I hear that song and just everything everything falls to pieces when I hear that song, and it just has to be turned off. So I don't know where that came from, but yeah, that's about smoking out of a bong, right? Isn't that what that song's about? I don't know. I'd have to listen to Adam's show and figure out what he has to say. Reacts to what the writing process must have been like for Peter, Paul, and Mary, all people that sound like they were in the Bible. This leads him to talk about other songs that have been bothering him lately. All right, well, at least it bothers him, bothers me, including Erotic City by Prince and Anything by DJ Khaled. Dawson then shares a clip from his latest audiobook project, talks about eating 6 value tacos from Del Taco for lunch. Dawson will not be with us very longer, if that's his diet. Chris D'Elia makes his return to the show and shares his experience of getting canceled. Yeah, you canceled yourself, man. I read what happened and how his outlook has evolved. He also talks about being a new parent. Yikes. Before the gang jumps into a round of what would Jean-Claude Van Damme do? Maybe get a new, like, what would Jean-Claude? Is Jean-Claude, he's still around? Is he the one that's doing, no, I'm thinking of, there's another one who's gained a lot of weight and only acts in super low budget movies. It's not John Claude Van Damme. It's the other guy. I can't remember. We're gonna keep powering through this. Lastly, Gyna reports the news on a rapper rapping about stealing from the government. A new Space Force song. Cooking chicken with NyQuil. That's an interesting one. How much of the alcohol kind of boils away? People make stuff with like a wine sauce or vodka sauce. Like, it's not that the alcohol is not going to stick around; it does evaporate kind of fast. I wonder what happens there. Obviously, not recommended, but may not be that bad. And how many ants there are on the Earth? How many ants are there? Is it one of those things where they're like, there are more stars in the universe than specks of sand on all the beaches in America and the world, right? It's one of those things. I don't think there are that many ants. There's probably a lot. They're underground. They're hiding. Oh my goodness, I got the quote of the day. Thanks, Sakic. But the Asian girlfriend, it's not just a woman. It's a lifestyle. Oh, right. That's right. Well, let's keep going here. An all balls move, calling Dr. Pug, would be to talk about all the songs about creeping or sleeping with underage girls. I was like, what's going on here? I was like, why all the talk about underage girls? We'll get to it. Hot Puff the Magic Dragon talk. Yep, nobody cares. Playing a comedian who grooms and fucks underage girls. First of all, this comment about fucking underage girls, I don't think that is proven anywhere and accurate. Now, I'm not going to defend this guy because some of the stuff that was proven that he did, not okay. but I don't think no one actually accused him of having sex with an underage girl because there would have been charges, and not one of the stories I read or comments about it said he actually went through and sealed the deal with any of these babies. So there is that. Okay, so we got to kind of be sort of accurate here. Um, Sakic, Adam is Adam. Yes, he is. Must be tough having Asperger's, and the show has hit a new low. All right, it's, maybe we should do some. I ate six tacos. Great, let's talk about that. Yeah, there's not a lot of prep here. Nothing says not right wing like pedophilia. Here we go. Cancel culture rears its ugly head again. Now you're telling me that a red blooded American man can't lust after underage girls without losing his career? Someone needs to back up the stew truck to your house and confiscate all your risk jewelry. Dr. Cock and Biles, MD. Creeper alert is sounding. Um, the Johnny Ride. The canceled in scare quotes is referring to, as Wikipedia puts it, in June 2020, Delia was accused of sexual harassment, grooming, and solicitation of nude photos by multiple underage girls. Um, all right, so after basically 75% of the comments being about perv alert here, I had to look it up, and I did look it up, and I went to the LA Times article that talked about this, and man, this is damning stuff. Like, he's browsing Instagram and reaching out and contacting girls in high school, telling them to come out and see him. There is absolutely no explanation for this that is good, other than someone hacked your account and is trying to get you busted. But he didn't claim that. He did not claim that somebody else was hacking into his account and trying to hit on underage girls. He responded with, "I let my fame get to my head." I'm paraphrasing there, but that's what he basically said. He's like, "Yeah, I kind of let my lifestyle get a little too crazy." He pulled off the Asian girlfriend lifestyle with too many young Asians. Basically, is what happened there, and that's not cool. I mean, he was 40. He's my age. He's a little younger than me. He's 4. I mean, I, the only underage girls I knew are usually babysitting for kids, and if you're going after those babysitters on Undergram, wow, Undergram on Instagram, if you're looking for underpants on Instagram, you're in trouble. Who does this? Like, this is a sickness. This is not right. Like, anytime you get accused of something by multiple underage girls, you have a sickness. I mean, you could just fill in the blank there, anything with multiple underage girls. There's nothing good. Um, like what? Oh my God, he was the best teacher ever. He taught math to a bunch of underage girls. No, it doesn't even fit. You can't do anything good with underage girls, um, except get them married to somebody else after they turn of age. I digress. Point is, wow. So what's going on? Let's just think about the guests that have been on this show in the last week. We've got accused of multiple underage nonsense, Chris D'Elia. Yesterday, I think somebody else was accused of sexual improprieties and essentially lost his job over that and paid a bunch of money. That's Bill Orley right there. Then if we keep going back, Vinny Tortorico, I mean, he can't be completely clean either. NSNG, no, I'm trying to find a word that S and G that relates to underage women, and I can't. So we're just gonna keep going. But then there's worse. Like, Ali Colbert is the best guest that he's had in weeks. There was also a bunch of mobsters before that, right? What's wrong with Ryan Long? Whose babies has he been touching? Garagos. I mean, good God, it's an ugly list. Kochner. All they talked about was him doing coke. I don't know if that's true. And then yeah, it was Sammy the Bull Gravano and another like comedian former mobster or something, right? The guests, I mean, not right wing, but mm, um, I mean, they should just start calling this the Fall from Grace podcast, because that's the only people coming on the show. Yikes. So anyway, yeah, I mean, if you're gonna give me the quote of the day, you're gonna get a podcast out of me. That's for sure. But I, I don't get this. Like, must suck to be disgraced, and I don't know how you come back from. What are you doing? Why are you? Why are you going? Like, I can't understand this. Like, how sick are you that you don't understand that you are absolutely gonna get caught? And also, like, how illegal is it? I know it's definitely illegal to try to elicit nudes from an underage person. Um, but like, what are you thinking? Are you just drunk? Like, why can't you go after people of age? Right? At least I don't think that's a crime. Like, you can try to solicit nudes from people that are over 21 or over 18. But when you're 40, you shouldn't be messing around with anything. What's the rule? Is it half your age plus 7 years or minus 7 years? But what's the rule? Well, whatever the rule is, you got to shave. Okay, you got to shave if you're going to be going after. No, no, you shouldn't be going after anybody. And then you got married. Who married him after this? He's married this year. He must have had. I don't know. Look, we've all got problems. This guy's problems are a little worse than the normal people's problems. It's a new world, and um, eh, eh, also pedophilia is not the right word, even though technically it probably is. Pedophilia is like when you're messing around with like 8-year-olds or something. Like that's the extra sick people that are when you're trying to mess around with like 17-year-olds. That's not really pedophilia. It's it's like you're trying to take advantage of people that won't know any better, yet they still physically oftentimes look like adults. That's why I think there's a difference between pedophilia and what this is, which is um, an abuse of status and abuse of age. That they're two different things, and this one's not as bad as pedophilia, I feel like, but it's not good. And yeah, man, like weird. Yeah, creeper alert sounding. Um, and by the way, if Adam was Adam, holy shit, would he bring this up with him? Oh my god, if this was back in the day, he'd be like, "So, what happened when you were trying to hook up with high school students across the country? But how'd that go? Like, what? Why didn't you seal the deal? Like, what's wrong with you? Couldn't pull it off. You got you got almost oh god, what weird. All right, guys. I just like woke up at 4 in the morning, saw this. I was like, all right, we're reporting a podcast while I go back to sleep. Pretty crazy stuff. But the Asian girlfriend, it is a lifestyle, and you should try it.